pop up, not only in Reno but around America, as our weather's getting assaulted. So what that tells me is this smoke has something to do with the stratosphere and the ionosphere, filling it up with smoke and blocking out satellite readings of how high electromagnetic energy is in our sky, to protect them from being found out about the NMOD violations and the tornadoes and earthquakes and floods and stuff we've been going through the last 2 years since these idiots been on here. And that's another thing. Another thing is to flush out satellites, spy satellites, and burn down an area. There's another thing, and where there's trees, and get rid of the chemtrails, the chemicals out of the trees that the trees have absorbed, because they're not telling you what kind of chemicals they spray. And then what they do is they come around and put up more telephone poles or power poles with wires with these remote neurological monitoring things off the main grid of the Gwen, kind of like independent ones, and putting up those like many little Gwen towers throughout people's neighborhoods that everyone complains about on the internet. So that's what they've been doing with their money in our country. So now I'd like to show you, after I get done with this next part, point out some chemicals. What happens when there's a natural disaster in our country, or I should say a natural one. They pick a part of America and they modify the weather and flood it out, burn it down, use tornadoes, they rip up the whole town, and then the president comes out once in a while, allegedly, and visits the place, and the next thing they do is they put up Elf Wave towers for those Gwen system, or the HARP system. And what they're doing is they're building a whole new communication system through our whole country, so they can assault people and burn them and give them heart attacks and monitor their central nervous system and all kinds of stuff like that, and run the country independently. And I noticed when I went to town to live last year during winter, every place I moved, automatically electric company would come out there and start jackhammering the place and put something in the ground and rewire it, or the cable TV people, just like Sun Valley. And I'll get to that in a minute. So every place I moved, and all over Reno, Nevada, they're digging up the ground and putting in new wires and stuff. And I think they're putting in those like remote monitoring devices for like bugging purposes. So they modified the whole system in Nevada and elsewhere with all these fires and stuff. So this picture down here are all these antennas. This is HARP, I think, and they call them heaters, and they project a disc or mirror up in the ionosphere or stratosphere, and they modify the weather. Here's a picture, an ionosphere with the ionosphere mirror in it, and this one's using cyclotronic like waves. They're all wiggly and twisty. So, and also with this thing you could project your own radio information from a computer somewhere, as you'll see here. Here's the one over the horizon radar. You make a disc in the air. These dishes. Here's a disc. Here's the dishes. And you can spot things flying in the air and capture sound.